Mississippi now has its first major party black candidate for governor since Reconstruction. Hattiesburg Mayor Johnny DuPree will face off against Mississippi's Lieutenant Governor Phil Bryant. DuPree is running an ad about color.
I'm here to talk to you about color. Green. Better jobs mean more money for Mississippians. And we do that with better schools and safer streets.
Mayor Johnny DuPree joins me now. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. How are you doing?
Good morning, Chris. How you doing?
I'm well. Clever ad. And you have not made race an issue in this competition, but do you think it is something people consider? Was that part of what that whole double entendre was about?
Oh, no, Chris. We don't want to talk about things that divide us. We want to talk about things that pull us together. And too often, the things that divide us, it has to do with money. It has to do with green. And what we really want to talk about is things that can make life better for the people that we hopefully will represent in the state of Mississippi.
Well, this isn't the kind of green you were talking about, but let me ask you about money, because it's no secret the Lieutenant Governor's campaign is well financed. I think he spent more than $3 million so far. We have an upcoming presidential election where each side could spend $1 billion, we're told. Can you or anyone else win when you're being outspent, as you are in this case, 3-1?
Well, Chris, in the primary, we were outspent 8-1 by the Lieutenant Governor. We spent somewhere over $450,000. The Lieutenant Governor spent about $3.1 million. But the difference in our campaign, though, is that we actually had boots on the ground. We actually had people out there that were volunteering, that were doing things for us because the message was good, and they thought that we could do a good job. We actually, the mayor of Hattiesburg right now, have been for 3 terms, and we've always been outspent, outraised. But, the message has been good, and people have resonated to that message. In the primary, we actually received more votes than the Lieutenant Governor or my Democratic opponent. In the runoff, we had a runoff, and people said that 30% were going to come out. 80% of the people came back out, and we still were outspent, but we still won by 55% of the vote. So we've always had those obstacles, but we've tried to prove that money's not always the thing that gets people elected. It's hard work. It's going to meet the people where they are, at their homes and at work and different places, and so that's what we rely on. There's
one thing that obviously you can't control, and that is the national economy, and obviously the president's approval ratings have taken a beating. And one of the real concerns that I hear a lot from Democratic strategists is not that suddenly somebody who would vote for a Democrat is going to vote for a conservative Republican, but they're just not going to show up at all. Do you have concerns about that in the state of Mississippi, about turnout, about the popularity of the president, about where the economy will be? Could it hurt you?
Well, I'll make it plain. President Obama is my president. I support President Obama. That's never been an issue on my side. But I believe that turnout is going to be just as it was in the primary. I will say again, we had over 400,000 people to come out. And again, in the runoff, the pundits said that there were only going to be about 30% of the people going to come out for the runoff. In actuality, though, Chris, 80% of the people came out in the runoff, and we received almost exactly the same amount of votes that we received in the primary and the runoff. So I think it's the people. I think people are in Mississippi, by the way, I believe, are getting away from the red and the green and getting away from those things that, again, that divide us. They want to talk. They want to vote for the person, and that's what they've always done for me. I'm real proud to serve as mayor of Hattiesburg, and even more proud of that I made it this far in the Democratic primary. So I think that the turnout will be great. I think that people will come out because it's going to be about issues that concern them.
Mayor Johnny DuPree and an historic candidacy, thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate the time.